design team for the month of April for Shimelle's sketch Reimagined. This is the sketch that we are using, and I am using these two gorgeous kind of poppy flowers from the classic sheet paper pack from Michaels. These are usually in one of their like hot buy specials. I always get my paper pads when truly they're like $4.99 or $6.99, and this one was mostly a black and white and gold foiled collection, and it did have these gorgeous florals, and I actually used there's one that's gold foiled as well from the paper pack for like my title page for my 2020 Project Life. So I've been getting some use out of this paper pad, and so I'm just looking at it again, and I decided that I'm probably going to tilt the layout and use it my own way, just because I wanted to use this colorful photo on some black and white papers, and so I was going to cut the corners of the black sheet just to have the heavy contrast for this, because you saw in the sketch that it was showing the corners kind of blocked off either with pattern paper or maybe not taking that literally and you only wanted to use like a band of paper. It was up to you, but this is how I interpreted it. And so I'm just trying to get like the best flowers. That's why I'm like constantly flipping it, because I'm like looking at it, I'm like, okay, do I want to use this big flower on the bottom and then kind of know what I'm having at the opposite side? And so you see me kind of clustering it and auditioning around that big black flower on the paper, and I was like, you know what, that looks good. Let's use this corner. Yeah, that was me like, you know, practicing, and I was like, you know what I do, because it had, if you saw remember the sketch, it had the two corners blocked out, and then where the embellishment clusters were like these little images of stars, and then some stars off onto some of the negative space. And so that was definitely what I was trying to go, probably taking the sketch a little too literally, but I do like the way it turned out in the end, so no complaints here. So here I am trying to figure out, because you know, if you ever do this on your own, you always know that it doesn't fit in your paper trimmer. So once you took the corner off one side, in order for them to be parallel, just take it to the opposite side like I'm doing here, kind of just marking it, and you'll get that perfect angulation, because if you saw it briefly, it would happen so quick because I have this sped up, but when I did it in the opposite way, it almost came to like it was gonna like join up. They weren't parallel. I know I'm making sense, I think. And so here I am just auditioning, and like right there alone, like I love the way that looks. So I was just like, or should I do a black and white photo, or should I do a color photo, or should I do a black and white photo? This is how like I sit and decide and do things. This is why, you know, for me, scrapbooking can sometimes take so long. So in order to get that kind of, it looked like a band or a ribbon in these corners, I'm using a piece of this acetate that you saw me cut right there that has like these black chevron polka dots, and I thought it was perfect because it was like a little bit of black extra going with the layout, and it was clear still without actually adding more paper. But I thought about not wanting to add more to block the flowers is where I was with that. And so the acetate sort of worked out like great. Like look how great that looks already. So definitely enjoying that. And then where I'm adding that extra flower I cut, having it interact with the edge of the paper, which I do love, is simply just to have something in that negative space that was not utilized at this point, because I kind of knew my title was going to go on the bottom left corner of the layout. And so, you know, this is what us scrapbookers do. Like we test it out, we put it down, we lay it down, we see what we like it, we move it off, we put it back. And if in the process too, when I was showing the black and white and the color, I totally took a picture of both at the time and sent it to my sister and sent it to Miguel, and then I get their votes and they're like, use the color photo, and I was like, okay, that's where I'm going to stay. That's the process. So the photo I'm scrapping is actually of me and Valentina last year at Mother's Day. So I've been scrapping a few of these photos. So I'm also adding in some of those epoxy flares from Happy Scrappin' Studio. I'm her guest designer for the month of March and April. So I had those, and they kind of remind me of like Ray Dunn pottery and such. It's like a thin black font on white, and I love it. So I added Smile to next to the photo and Happy up in the upper quadrant of flowers. The Love Today is from an old Dear Lizzie collection, and then I'm adding these gold pieces that are from, I want to say, Willow Lane. They're Maggie Holmes, and so they're like epoxy, they're like puffy stickers too. So a few gold sprinklings throughout the layout, and so I'm just trimming off the edges right now and loving everything that is going on with the layout as of now. And so I'm looking at it, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take it up a notch. And my favorite gold glitter that does not, it's like gold paint glitter that does not leave my desk. I have it now in the silver, and I have it in pink now, I think. So I'm adding it just to the center of each of the flowers, just for an extra little bling. You can see in that upper right-hand corner how it sparkles so much, and it does add a lot of cool interest, and so I added it to all the centers of the flowers. And then I let that go, and I'm sitting, and I come back, and I'm like, you know what? I need to add periwinkle to my layout. So here I am with just my inexpensive Michael's watercolor set, and I knew that there was a periwinkle color in there, so I am just going to add a soft wash around the center of these poppies. Now, I thought about coloring the whole thing in, but then I was like, it defeats the purpose of being all black and white. So just the centers get a little periwinkle to match in my dress, and you can't get more of a custom layout than that. So that will wrap up my layout. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Please give this video a like if you so care to, sorry. And until next time, everyone, keep scrapping. Bye.